Hey there, this is Stephen Libman again with another uh, video about how we can challenge our relationship with money and how I can help you shatter the illusions surrounding money so that you can have more of it and get a lot more done with your life. So, I get this question often, which is this quandary about time and money. And what's interesting is some people think that money is more valuable than time. And I totally disagree with that. I think that time is much more valuable than money for a couple of very simple reasons. But the most important thing is until you value your time more than you value money, you're never truly going to be wealthy. And I need that to sink in because you have to value your time more than you value your money. After all, what are people actually out there doing? See, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Money is something that is, indefinite, whereas as time is very finite. So as we look at this, we say there's a paradox, right? Most people with money are trying to buy time, while most people with time are trying to amass more money. How does this work out? Well, obviously, you've heard the word balance is the key. Balance is the key. However, as we look at that, we say, look, we have to use some of our time to make money so then we can leverage our money to get more time. So again, let me let that sink in. Use some of your time to make money, then leverage your money to get more time. A good example, I've been using real estate lately, but funny story, years ago, we had a guy that came to us that this was in Arizona. We were in Phoenix, and he came to us and he said, "Hey, I've got this mobile home park that I do repairs on." So he's a rehabber. And he said, the park has 20 properties that are abandoned. They're all beaten up and people passed on or they moved on or whatever. He says, I have a deal with the owner that I can get those units for free. I can fix them up and I can sell them. Now, you might wonder, well, why would the owner of the park give them away for free? Well, first of all, the owner of the park doesn't actually own the units. The park is just a pad where they have lot rent. So they actually don't want those sitting on those lots. They're not generating any rent and it's costly to get rid of them. So they say to this guy, Mike, hey, Mike, go ahead. We'll give them to you for nothing. You fix them up. You put in whatever it costs and you go sell them. And when they sell them, those people are going to pay lot rent. So it's good for the owner of the park. Now, there's 380 units and there's about 20 that are vacant. So the owner of the park isn't even barely paying attention to these 20. And Mike comes up to me and my partner and he says, hey, would you guys like to put up the money to rehab these? And we said, well, what's that going to cost us? He says, well, we could probably put them back into great shape for about $10,000 a piece. And you don't even have to pay for them. You just have to pay me the $10,000. I'll be happy to get the money. And then you could probably sell them for about $50,000. They're worth at least that much. And I don't know about you, but if I can put in 10,000 and make 50,000, that's 40,000. That's a 400% return on investment. I've got a partner. We'll each put in 5,000. Sounds good. How many can we buy? But one thought came to my mind, and here's was the thought. If Mike was going to do all the work and we were going to put up the money, who actually makes out better? Well, the short answer is Mike's doing all the physical work. My partner and I go back to doing whatever it is we're doing. We don't have to barely pay attention other than just make sure the progress, things are on time and whatever. But at the end of the day, Mike makes $10,000, which is his total income. So figure he works on about 40% profit. So he makes about 4,000 bucks. We potentially make $50,000. We're taking a lot more risk, sure, but he's doing all the work. So he's putting in all the time. We're putting in the money. Now, what if Mike put in the money? But why didn't Mike put in the money? He had the money. And his answer was, I'm afraid of getting stuck. So he didn't have an exit strategy to be able to get rid of those properties. In fact, our exit strategy was quite simple. We were going to finance the property for the buyers themselves. So they were going to put down $10,000 as a down payment, 20%, and they were going to finance the other $40,000 at whatever interest rate that was going to be over the next 5 years and pay off the balance. So what's really funny is that we get back the $10,000 we have to pay Mike, so we have no money in the deal, and we're getting paid every single month for the next 5 years until they own the property. Now multiply that times 20 properties and all the mobile home parks that are in Phoenix, and you start to see, oh my gosh, there was tremendous opportunity for Mike. But all Mike was focused on is how can I work for time and get paid? And an investor's thought is, how can I have somebody else's time work for me? So it's critically important that you understand the value of that. So how do we leverage money to buy more time? The answer is simple. Money has to work for you, not the other way around. In Mike was working for money. For us, Mike was working for us. Therefore, we were having the time of somebody else do the work. So passive residual investments require little work up front and either drip money on a regular basis or as a larger payoff down the road. And these are all the ways that people look at these things. Once you have some money set aside, look for a few hands-off investments when there's nothing more for you to do than your due diligence on the deal and collect returns. If you don't have enough money for the deal, partner with somebody else. At the end of the day, we have to learn a lot more about money. So stick with me for the next episode, if you will, and we'll beat up on some more of those myths. Until then, be well.